Ukraine war is defining LGBTQ plus rights in Europe. Since Russia invaded the Ukraine, many LGBTQ plus individuals have chosen to pick up arms and fight against the anti-LGBTQ plus aggressors. Others, afraid of what Russia might do to them, have fled the country. Due to martial law, this is not an option for everyone. Many refugees are being turned back at the border and encouraged to fight against the invasion. Even LGBTQ plus rights groups like Kyiv Pride and the Ukraine Pride and LGBTIQ Military are encouraging people to stay and fight for the safety of their community, sharing pictures of drag queens and LGBTQ plus activists fighting in battles or in uniform. Many who have fled express feelings of shame when they see these images and messages. Others feel that the heteronormative concept of nationalism could hurt LGBTQ plus struggles.
Wow, I was reading a story that really affected me. There was a man living the trans experience that came to the border, and one of the people at the border said to him, you want to be a real man, pick up a gun and fight with the rest of them. And he was shattered. He turned back. And I mean, that has to be the story to so many people that are reaching that border that are LGBTQ plus and just not LGBTQ plus. I mean, it's scary times. It's so sad.
Well, let's also remember that I think we did the lesbian activists in Kyiv a couple weeks ago that has stayed and is organizing and fighting. So the LGBTQ plus community is making an impact. I don't know if he's LGBT or not, but one of the winners of Ukraine won the Eurovision contest, and he left and went straight to the war. And I want to bring up another name, Mark Bingham. He was on the flight on 9/11 that crashed into 9/11. He was a gay man and was part of the group that forced them to crash the plane rather than take it into the White House or wherever it was destined.
Let's roll.
Yeah. What?
Let's roll.
The one that.
Let's roll. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's remember that LGBT has always played a part in building our countries and in defending them.
Yeah, and it's so complicated too. Because the entire region has had such a difficult relationship with the LGBTQ plus community. Of course, we know what we've watched in Russia. We're so happy that the lead singer of Pussy Riot snuck out of the country and needed to because of what was going to happen to her. Ukraine has not been good on LGBT. Poland has definitely not been good. Hungary has been terrible on LGBT. So the entire region, even in this context, is somewhat politicized because they're being asked to fight for a system against another system, but ultimately, if Ukraine prevails, they're back to the exact same situation that they were before this war. And you can't go to Russia, and if you cross the border into Poland, right now, while that has been basically suspended, and Hungary basically suspended, it's going to return. CPAC, I don't know if you heard just today, CPAC is going to have their convention in Hungary. They're all going to Hungary at the invitation because the president of Hungary is going to speak at CPAC. And one of the issues that CPAC is doing is congratulations you and how you minimize LGBT, especially trans, and therefore will bring the conservative political conference of Americans to Hungary. It's never happened before. It's a region that is very problematic for LGBT. And so for anyone to wave any fingers of what anybody should do, they should stop first and go, how problematic is it for you to authentically be you in this region of the world? It's really, really tough.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ+